Crickets. Let's try that again. Hi, builders. Good evening.
Hi.
It's a little bit better. I'm going to chop it up to maybe you guys being nervous, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and get started, even though our one judge isn't here yet, because we want to respect your time and ensure that you get all of your presentation time up here as well. So first and foremost, my name is Catherine Chavez. I go by Kat. I've been with Build for 4 years. And I started off working with our students in Oakland, and now I'm at our headquarters doing fundraising. Do you guys know what fundraising means, more or less?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to go through an explanation, so if you guys want to know later, I could explain it to you. I also want to introduce some of our volunteers. We have Sinaida and Kim who are in the back. They're also OCZ employees. They're volunteering their time to be here and ensure that Showcase 3 goes well for you guys. And in a second, we're going to introduce our judges. But before we get into that, I'm going to make sure that everyone has their phones on silent. You can take a minute now, and when I say silent, I don't mean on the vibrate mode, because even that noise can be distracting. I mean truly on silent. A little reminder doesn't hurt. All right, coming back in 5, 4. All right, we're good. Builders, this is Showcase 3. You guys have worked hard and for a long time to get to this point. I'm sure you can think back to your first showcase when you maybe weren't as poised, maybe were a little bit nervous, and now you're here, just a month away from the big business plan competition. And I'm sure that you're going to do much better today than you did at Showcase 1. And with this being your last dress rehearsal, it means that you're also going to do much better at the business plan competition. So use today as your final practice to really deliver your pitch with all the abilities that you can, to take the information from your judges, all that feedback to improve, because you're also going to then debrief with your mentors once you get back to school. So on that note, I am going to let our judges introduce themselves. Judges, if you could please share with us your name, where you work, what you do, where you went to college, and one fun fact. In any order, you can go popcorn style. Sorry.
My name is Andy Yang. I work at OCZ. I'm a technology director here, so I oversee some of the products that we develop here. I went to UC Berkeley, studied electrical engineering. And as far as a fun fact goes, my very first job was a professional breakdancer.
Wow.
Nice. Very cool.
I can't beat that.
That's good.
Rafael Torres. I'm the company's, I work here, I'm the company's chief financial officer. I went to Santa Clara University, and a couple of my hobbies are yoga and cycling.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mia. I'm the marketing and public relations manager at OCZ. I went to San Jose State University, majoring in marketing. So I'm definitely doing what I love. And fun fact, I do a lot of fun things. I got 2 little boys now, so you can juggle a job and also have lots of fun with my boys. And I hope, they grow up to be nice, intelligent young men and women like you guys.
Thank you. Are you by chance our last judge?
I'm still waiting.
Okay, that's fine. All right, builders, so you are each, with your teams, going to come up here. You're going to have 9 minutes to do your presentation. Kim in the back, you can wave your hand. She will be giving you a 2-minute or 1-minute warning, so she'll be holding up the sign, you can see it, and then a 30-second warning. If you do get up to the time, we are going to have to cut you off. I'm sure it won't be a problem. You have been practicing all year. You'll get it down in 9 minutes. After that, you're going to take the time with your judges, 5 minutes, to do some consultation. So they'll give you some feedback, some things that they saw that were great, strong, and other things that maybe could be worked on. They might ask you some questions. Use your professionalism to respond to them. And on that note, our judges are also selecting an MVP, our most valuable professional. And they're noting professionalism when you're up here on stage as well as when you're off stage, while you're sitting at your chairs. So keeping in mind good sportsmanship, not talking through others' presentations, and keeping that entrepreneurial spirit that we have at Build. Are there any questions? Okay, then on that note, we are going to go ahead and get started. The very first team, brush away. Come on up.
I like Andy Yang. We're SAD, stands for So Awesomely Done. Our product is Brush Away. When you have long hair and you brush it, some of the hair falls off and gets stuck on your hair or not in the brush. Our product solves that. Our product solves that issue. Our product has an extra layer of rubber at the bottom of the brush. You can remove the hair from simply move the rubber up and then take all the hair off the brush. Our brush solves your problem of hair on your hairbrush by easily taking all the hair in one easy step. Our product has changed in some ways. For instance, we have changed the rubber so that it will be more easier to remove and insert.
This isn't my final. It's like the prototype.
Our target market are for mainly girls. We were originally only gonna do it for girls, but someone brought in the idea that you could use it on pets like dogs too, so we're gonna try that too. And it's mainly for girls too, 10 years and older. They can come from the low income or allowance of $10 a month. They could actually get students for. Our persona is Becky. She's 14 years old. She was born on April 17, 2000, and she lives in San Jose. She goes to school at number 11, Our marketing plan is that it's going to cost $5. The place we're going to promote it is school and community. We're going to promote it by social media like Twitter or Instagram and pink flyers. We have advertised our product by putting flyers up in school that advertise the product, price, and our opinion. Our competitive overview is that we have no competition that does the same thing as us, but ours dominates over the fees of pets or PC brokers that can easily remove the hair. Our research that we got is that girls, we researched some girls and we asked them if their hair does get stuck in their brush, and it does.
Our brush costs $1. The rubber costs 37 cents, and in total it costs $1.37. We needed to create this packaging, a hole puncher, and an X-Acto knife. We have wasted about $31.63 in total for our product, and now we contain $28.37. We bought the roll of rubber for $15.10, which dropped us to $44.90. We brought the hair brushes for $6.53, and it dropped us to $38.37. The packaging for everything cost $10 and they dropped us to $28.37.
What our team has learned to do in this class is to cooperate, because in order to finish our task we have to cooperate and communicate. We have also learned to problem solve, because we have solved lots of things from our project and problems throughout our team.
Grit is the most important part of skill for our team because we have tried hard on our product throughout. Because our product was really hard to make, like just getting the supplies and knowing how to make it. And we have worked hard problem solve.
Don't throw it away, brush away.
Yes, 5 minutes with your judges. So judges, you now have 5 minutes to give feedback, to ask questions, to help the team improve.
The cost for the brush was $5? Is that what you buy it? Is that what it costs for you to build, or is that what it costs, is that the sales price? What does it cost to make?
$1.37 is our estimate, but since there's a bunch of different rubbers, so that's like our average.
Okay, that's good. I would show that. I would show, because that's really what people will care about, right? It's how much money are you making? Right, the $5 minus your 137 is how much money you're making off of that product. It's just an important point. But that's good that you understand the cost of it. It's the most important piece.
So my wife's hairbrush is covered in hair. Does this really work? It does. So do you just peel that thing off and then all the hair comes up?
That's not our final
It's
product. It's
what I
supposed to
said,
be
it's our prototype.
a thin rubber layer at the bottom. You lift it up.
So you lift this thing up, and then rubber will come out, and then you could just take the hair off, and then just put it back in.
Okay.
So are you selling the whole brush or just the wrapper?
No, everything.
The whole thing?
So one possibility is if it really does work that well and it's easy to insert and remove, in the presentation, I don't know if you're allowed to have videos, but if you can actually show it working in action, then I think it's going to convey a lot more than the words, because then people can actually see that it works and how easy it might be to use.
And I was gonna say, if you don't have the video capabilities, just make some kind of demo, that
Yeah.
you can, it doesn't have to be exactly, the finished product, but something that's more visual, so people can see how it works. But it's a great idea, because I know my brushes, I get complaints all the time, so I would love to buy one of that.
One other comment is I don't think I would use the term wasted money on your slide. We use up a lot of money in this company all the time.
I would use the word spent.
Yes. Because sometimes even when you make mistakes, that's part of the learning process. And so that money is used and there are going to be lessons learned and extracted from that. So I don't think that those were really a waste of money.
So another improvement tip. Okay. You guys are good looking guys. I wouldn't read. Stop reading. You got it the same way we're talking to you right now. When you do the presentation, talk to us. Look at us in the eye like you're doing now. And give us the story to me. I'm right here, I'm not over there. And that'll help you connect with the audience. And no matter what you show up there, it'll mean a lot less. What means the most is the conversation that you're having with your audience. Does that make sense?
In your slides, you guys have a lot of good information on there. I would, just to make it easier for yourself too, I would make it into like bullet points, and that would be easier for you to remember when you're talking to your audience. Almost like flashcards. You're studying notes for a test. I will put it in bullet points. It looks a lot clearer to the audience, and I would assume it would be easier for you to kind of remember that too.
Okay,
We still have
judges.
time.
Oh, you're timing them too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. When was that?
You have time for one more comment or question.
So you've identified a problem which I can easily understand because I had that same problem at home. What other ideas did you consider before you came up with the idea that you chose? I mean, did you have other possibilities of how to remove the hair?
Well, we did. I tried it at home. We got rubber and then we got a hole puncher. We traced the bristles from the brush and we punched hole. But it didn't work out. It was really difficult to do.
Okay.
So we just thought of that.
So the decision was based more on your ability to make it as opposed to how effectively or easily put out the hair?
Oh, when we inserted it, and we could take it off easily, but we couldn't insert it the same as taking it out.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, let's give them one more round of applause. Judges, feel free to start writing down your feedback so that you don't lose it. In the meantime, I'm going to ask the sales portion of Brushaway to come up. You will have 1 minute to do a presentation on your selling experience. And I do want to say to all the builders that are in the room, you have been doing a fantastic job of giving your full attention to the students presenting. I'm not hearing any side comments. This is wonderful. This is professionalism at its best. So please continue to keep that up.
We were told to get 2 minutes?
Did you say 5?
No, please.
They get 1.
What is it?
101?
Okay. You don't want me to interrupt you? Just, do you want to interrupt them? Okay.
Okay, whenever you guys are ready.
So this is our product for Brushaway, and as you heard, it's supposed to, when the hair from, let's say, if you comb your hair for a long time, over time, your hair will get stuck in your brush. And also, if you have a pet or an animal, a dog with long hair, and when you comb, a lot of the little hairs get stuck. And so, what our product will do is you pull up, and you take it off, and then so as the hair comes onto the surface, you can just easily pull it out and then put it back in. And so that way you don't have to spend all your time, and you can just keep on using the brush, and it stays healthy. Our product is $5, and it's a good investment. And you don't have to keep on buying new brushes after hair gets stuck in them, and then you have to throw that brush away.
And then product, you don't have to keep buying to buy your own rubber and brush because it would be like more money to spend. So with this one, it comes with an additional little rubber in case there's something damaged or you just want to put it on.
I think this brush will save you more time and while taking off.
All right. Thank you, guys. Give them a round of applause, please. One thing I will also say that has been fantastic about the 2 halves of Brushaway that have come up is that every single student has had a speaking portion and have come up here and, to the best of their abilities, given eye contact. That's fantastic, and I hope to see that with the next 2 teams coming up. So Brushaway, before you get too comfortable, you're actually going to step over here. Sinaida is going to take a picture of your entire team with your mentor. Are you their mentor? Great. So come on over. I think outside, up front?
By the balloons they asked.
Okay, you can do that. And I apologize, I should have clarified that. So after the presentation portion of your team comes up, then the sales portion of your team should come up ready to do a presentation, no more than 1 minute. After both of those, then the entire team will step outside and Sinaida will take a picture of you guys. Any questions on that? All right. So, in just a minute, we're going to have Warm Neck come on up. So, if you guys want to start gathering your stuff, you can come up here and stand up. But I don't want you to start presenting so that you're not interrupted once Brushaway comes back. guys can come up and get comfortable if you'd like. Whenever you're ready.
Hi, our product is Warm Necks, and I'm Rosa, and this is Carla, and this is Carlos, and this is Luis and Steven.
The pain statement, customers that use a regular scarf, they cannot warm the body up fast. So what we came up with was a scarf, it's warm neck with heaters inside, and it warms up your body in the coldest conditions.
Customers that use a regular scarf cannot warm the body up as fast as they put on the scarf, and our warm neck warms up the body immediately when the coldest conditions are located.
And the scarf is right there if you guys want to look at it.
Warm already? It works.
So the scarf, there's like a zipper right here, and it's like heating patches. You can renew them, like if they get like old now, you can add more or renew it.
They call it hand warmer, and they last up to 10 hours.
The scarf that we created is warmers inside the scarf that you guys just seen. The warmers, it leads to a lot of heat, and you can feel it, and it cures your tense muscles, and it helps if you have cramps in your knees or something, it releases the pain.
Warm Neck has improved since the last showcase. We have fixed the bulky battery pack solution with smaller pockets filled with 2 or more hand warmers, depending on how many the customer would prefer in a small zip compactor.
Our target market is for high school students and college students. The age limit is for 13 and upper. So the price was $24.99, and what we are doing is we're planning to promote the item at LPS and the universities, and we have marketed around our campus, and we've interacted with other, and they seem like they enjoyed the scarf, and people actually want to buy it.
Our marketing plan is word of mouth, and we plan to speak to students around campus about the scarf, and also flyers and posters. We plan to make flyers and posters explaining Warm Neck to the reader.
So what we used was the zipper, which came out to $4.59, and the scarf, which was $6.99, and the sewing kit, because we had to sew it to keep it in place for $10. And the cloth, because inside the scarf we used the cloth, this thingy, and it was $6.44, and the warmers were $24.86. so it came out to $42.88.
We believe our time with Bill has shown us better techniques in public speaking, such as posture, gestures, and communications with our clients. It also taught us how to act professional and have an idea how to run a business.
One of the SPARK skills that we have accomplished is collaboration. Reasons we felt like we accomplished this goal is because our team, in the beginning of the year, we had doubts about our audit because it wasn't going so good. And like before, we used the box and it was too heavy. So we made it better. So we pushed ourselves to communicate and do better. Thank you.
Are you our final judge?
Just right there.
Uh-huh. Where your name tag is?
Oh, and way over there? Okay. Sorry, I'm day on the road.
That's all right.
We'll let our judge get settled in. In the meantime, our 3 judges can go ahead and have 5-minute consultation with Warmneck.
So just so that I understand the financial slide that you put up, each hand warmer packet is $1.24? So the cost per unit,
Yeah, because in the back it comes with 2 hand warmers, but the total, because it came in a pack like a box, it was $24.86, but for one bag it was $1.24.
okay, and one bag includes 2, so it's basically, yeah.
Yeah, it comes 2, but we put one in here for myself.
And your scarf, you can basically just, how many are you supposed to put in there?
It depends on the person. If you want it more hot, you could add more heat to the scarf.
Do you plan to sell those packages separately, like a refill, or does it only last for 10 hours? Am I correct?
Well, yeah, they can buy more of the hand warmers to
So you buy it on your own, it's not.
It can come with it, but after you want to use it more often, you can prepare them
Just like standard hand warmers,
Yeah.
you can buy over the counter at the store.
Yeah, we usually sell them to Target,
Okay.
Walmart, and Walmart.
Okay.
I'd probably say the same thing with every presentation. You guys are good presenters, but I would stop reading from the slides, right? And what I mean by that is the slides are really meant to remind you of what your presentation's about, right? So talk about the product, talk about your investment, talk about the cost, right? And that should just be reminding you the things that you should be saying to us, but don't use it as your presentation. The presentation is the conversation you have with us. Does that make sense?
Any more questions?
On the cost side, I'm sorry, I'm a CFO, so I know numbers, right? You're selling it for $25, right? But I could,
Yeah.
and well, how much does it cost to make? Oh, that's what I was trying to figure out.
The cost to make the scarf is 20.
$21?
Well, like 11, around 11.40 cents. But we actually lowered the price to $20.
You have to make sure you're making money, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not making money, you don't have a business. So that's the most important thing in all of us, is are you making money? Right? So let's make sure you understand how much it's costing you to make it, and then how much you're going to sell it for. And you should, what you're selling it for should be higher than what you make it for. Make sure you understand that piece.
other thing to consider about some businesses, there's a concept called seasonality. So for example, if you're an electronics maker, around Christmas time, Thanksgiving, people sell a whole bunch of electronics. With a product like this, because we're in California, it's pretty warm most of the year, and so probably you should expect that sales would be potentially fairly slow in the warmer months and maybe pick up in the colder. So I don't know to what extent that would affect your business plan, but that's something that, again, being in California, this kind of product you might want to consider.
We hadn't really thought about it when we started off in December.
It's cold there.
We started making it in winter.
And sometimes summer there's cold days.
Mornings are always cold.
Yeah. Like if you're going for a jog or something, it's good.
On the advertising side, I like that, you're gonna do word of mouth and you're targeting college students, which is good. I would suggest, because we're very heavily dependent on social media, the web, YouTube, utilize those avenues as well. And then you'll be able to reach more of your target audience, because you can see most everybody around that age has a cell phone, has an iPad, has a laptop.
Your friends on Facebook, right? You can advertise it using Facebook.
Instagram, I'm sorry. Not Instagram. So.
Time for one more thought from the judges. Okay, no pressure. Can we give them one more round of applause, please? We're going to have the sales portion of Warm Neck. Do you guys have a sales portion of your team here?
Yes.
Okay, so the sales portion of the team or sales half, it is your turn to give a 1-minute presentation on what your selling experience has been so far. Okay, whenever you're ready.
So yeah, when you're cold, you can use the scarf, and we've actually already sold like 3 of them at school, and we did tell the people that bought them that they were $24.99, and they actually bought them.
Real expensive at first, but it was 25. We were giving this out for 25, but we thought about lowering the price because it was a little outrageous in the price. I don't think maybe it was buying this scarf for $25. So, but it's quite simple to use. All you gotta do is just open one of these and just stuff it in there, and you got yourself in this like scarf easy already. Self-eating. I mean.
Okay, let's go around. Oh, sorry. Was there another thought?
No.
No? You sure?
Yes.
Okay, let's give a round of applause. So I am going to have all of Warm Neck take a picture. Is your mentor here today?
No, we don't think so.
Okay. You guys look fabulous. We're going to have Sanada take a picture of you guys outside. In the meantime, judges, if you want to jot down a few notes. And I do want to thank the judges because they're asking absolutely wonderful questions. Thank you. And giving great feedback. So when they're giving that feedback and asking these questions of these teams, it's also an opportunity for you to learn from what the teams are doing well and what they could be improving. So keep that in mind. And then in just a minute, we're going to have our final team come on up, Butterstick. So Butterstick, please be ready to have your presentation, have the team come on up. Did I go too far? Okay. All right, Butterstick, come on up. And I'm going to kindly ask all the other builders to go ahead and set a list that Butterstick also get the same amount of respect that each of your teams got.
Hello everyone, my name is Keenan. I am the CEO of the company Thought.
Hello, my name is Francisco Lara and I'm the CMO. Hello, my name is Joshua and I'm also the CMO.
So, butter can be a very thick material when spreading on food, of course, we all know that. And we thought, why not spread butter with your bare hands without making a mess in the progress? And we all know sometimes you could get a little rub with a butter knife and cause like say you're spreading out a piece of toast and you like break that piece of toast. And we believe that our product, the Butterstick, will make spreading butter a whole lot easier. Our product is easier to spread butter without making a mess. We are offering a simple and clean container that holds your butter and is easy to spread around your food with. All right, and for our prototype demonstration, you simply just insert a stick of butter into the product and just simply press it against your food, and there you go. And at first, we put butter in a little glue stick. Unfortunately, the butter had melted during our second showcase presentation, so we decided to make the butter and the Butterstick completely separate because, well, the butter had a bit of melting issues. So we were simply targeting people with a joy of cooking, probably ages 18 and up. And restaurant owners are a good example because they also like to cook, and our product would be a good appliance for them. Carnivores too, because some have corn on the cobs, and who doesn't like putting butter on their corn?
Okay, so our persona, just imagine a girl named Sarah. She's coming down to breakfast, and she likes putting butter on her food. She was wondering if there was an easier way to put butter on her food. So that's when the Butterstick comes in, and it's simply just spread on your food. Our price for our product is $5 each. We're planning to sell it in nearby stores, and for the promotion, we drew posters around our school, and our marketing summary. We have put flyers around our school and basic information of our product, price, purpose, and competitive overview. There are other people out there that made a butter spray, and people like our product is way we think is better than that, because the butter spray is really messy, and our target is to not make it messy. So the butter spray is messier. So our competitive advantage is that we live in San Jose, and so we can sell them in stores, and while having an advantage in our home. According to responses from the survey we got, half of the people say that we use our product to spread butter, and the other half prefer to use the butter knife, and they also prefer solid butter than vegan and unsalted butter. Our intended investment account amount was $70, and the total expenses today was $35.99. Our operating cost was, the flyers costed $8.99 for 100 sheets. The markers costed $3.49 for 4.
The tape costed $7.47 for a roll, and the total for all that was $19.95. The cost of goods sold was that the label costed $4 and the container costed $3.40, which was a total of $8.44. We have learned that the butter melts easily, so now we're selling the stick with no butter, so it doesn't have any issues with the butter. We also learned that starting a business means to have people that believe that this can be a success, and we will help out and work together.
The point SPARK skills to know is problem solving and collaboration, because problem solving allows us to come up with different strategies, and collaboration allows us to get assignments done and ready for what's coming up next for us. Thank you. Any questions?
Judges, you have 5 minutes now to have consultation with the team.
Do you have something that we can actually see?
Yes, our sales presenters have one. Actually, a few.
Well, the sales team will come up in a second, so no worries.
Oh, is that a push-up?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
So are you selling just the container or the container and the butter?
The container, just the container. Because as we mentioned, we had problems with the butter because the butter could be easily melted.
Well, I think it's smart because now you're not competing with the butter manufacturers, right?
Yeah.
And now it's complementary.
But it's mainly used for butter.
Right.
I think it's really innovative. I'm wondering if you've tested it perhaps with the elderly or folks that may be challenged with the spray and then the sloppiness. I think that'd be an interesting market group to assess.
Well, we haven't thought of that, but we will take that under consideration. Thank you for that. And well, we have tested it, and it proves to be satisfactory.
And do you,
like it works.
Do you just put it in the dishwasher to clean it?
Simply yes, or you can just rinse it over the sink, just put some water, just rub it around with some soap.
I really like this. So I got 2 little ones, and this will be great. I'm always having a hard time putting butter on their food, and they're having a hard time. This reminds me of the sponge wash dish pots.
How do you make sure the butter stays in here? Like I could imagine, trying to push the butter on, there's just the whole stick falling out.
Well, simply just, you gotta, just put the butter over the food, so if it will drop, it'll be on the food and not on the floor or anywhere else.
So do you think that's a great question. So do you think it sticks almost like a chapstick? You
Yes.
have a big tube of chapstick and a certain point, and then you have the pressure of just that top rubbing on the toast. I'm a visual person. That gives you the ability of putting the appropriate amount of butter on your piece of toast or something. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Does anybody else make this?
No.
The reason I ask is,
Not that I know of.
you said that your competitive advantage was living in San Jose, right?
Well, as a home advantage, we don't know anyone else in our home that has made a similar product to this.
So I'm trying to help you. I would say that your competitive advantage is that no one else makes this. Right?
Well, some people have come up with other solutions for spreading butter, like those sprayable butter cans.
Yeah, so I would maybe talk about how it's different. And that's your competitive advantage, that it's different. It's better than the alternatives.
The other thing to consider is if you're selling this plastic device, you could open up the market opportunity significantly if you find other uses for this. So for example, even if we just stick with the butter example, instead of just buttering toast, for example, when I make pancakes, I'd like to just put a dab of butter when I'm going to pour in the pancake. So there are other ways that people apply the butter. But aside from that, if you can find other things other than butter that people have the same issue with, and you identify all these different versatile uses, then all of a sudden with one product, you can attack so many different possible markets to increase your business. All right.
And just on the presentation side, when you're doing such an innovative product, instead of waiting towards the end to show your product, or wait until, as you're speaking, you know, like pass it around or hold it up, then your audience will be more engaging of what you're saying instead of, you know, us anticipating throughout the entire, you know, waiting to see this product.
One other thing to consider is that with businesses, one of the really important factors that make a business successful is if you can maintain some kind of competitive advantage. So I don't think it's realistic for you guys to, let's say, patent an idea about this sort of thing. But if people can buy this container just by themselves, what you don't want is you don't want to come up with this really innovative idea and allow people just to buy the product anywhere else they can get this classic device. So if you're able to in any way customize this so that it's actually better suited for the intended uses, then people can't just take some generic solution and basically use your creative idea. There might be a way that they really want to buy yours instead of something else. So it's something like that. I like this idea. It's cool.
And that's time from the judges. Thank you, judges. Can we please give Butterstick one more round of applause? The sales portion of the team can now come up and do the presentation. Good job.
Thank you.
So this is Butterstick. The whole point of the product, as I told you, was to like put butter and for it to be simple, to spread your butter over your meal or bread or whatever you like to eat butter with. And
Many people, like children, have difficulties spreading butter with the butter knife, or parents don't trust the kids with the butter knife to spread butter on their toast, pancakes, waffles, or whatever they eat it with. So this is an easier solution because it doesn't take too much space up in the fridge. It's easier for the kids just to put the right amount, and like it's just easier for everybody. That just all.
Sometimes I have trouble like putting butter on my toast. So like when I use a butter knife, like sometimes I make like a hole. So it's like useful if you have a butter stick because you don't cut through with the butter stick with toast.
we've actually tested this. We on a second on the other showcase when we had to go in our school and like try to sell our product. We tested it and it actually really works. We just literally grabbed the butter stick and put it in here, and it was easy to spread. Well, I didn't have trouble with it falling off because I didn't even push all of it out, but it wouldn't really fall off how you said it would. You could just like easily just go like this and spread it on the butter and it wouldn't fall.
We sold 2 products ready, and the person that bought them said that this was one of the best ideas, that these should be like selling them at more places than just the school. Well, that's it.
All right, let's give them a round of applause, please. So, Butterstick, the entire team, and Mentor, please step outside so you can take a picture. Snyder's going to do that for us.
Can I give one? Yeah. Can I give one quick thing?
Sure.
So prior to the sales pitch, you were focusing on the convenience aspect. The safety aspect, I think, is a very, very big deal. Because I don't let my kids use knives. I don't let them use a toaster. So that might be something that you might want to integrate into the core value proposition, because for adults, actually, it's not that bad to use a knife. But for kids, I actually think that that's a really interesting angle to
It'll help you sell more product.
Yeah.
My only suggestion, very nice job, is to perhaps have a piece of toast for us. I wanted to see a waffle. I was just like, I really wanted to see that, and I've never done, but if you had a great idea, and I'm envisioning you could put yogurt in there and freeze it and have a yogurt stick. You could
have
put
an ice cream pop.
all kinds of things. So very, very nice job. Just another tip.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Butterstick. We are actually a little bit early. We're going to let the judges write down their feedback, but I do want to give Lissa, our final judge, an opportunity to also introduce herself. So just like the other judges, we asked everyone to share name, where you work, what you do, where you went to college, and one fun fact.
Oh my goodness, an awful lot.
I can help you.
First of all, my sincere apologies. I pride myself on being very punctual. I just had a lot of business appointments today, and I found myself on a one-on-one chugging away, so I was rushed to get here. But so yeah, my name is Lissa Holmes. I work for Bristol Myers Squibb, which is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the United States. I'm a national account manager. I have the pleasure of calling on two largest HMOs, all of Kaiser Permanente and also Anthem. I graduated from University of Southern California, so I am a Trojan. And fun fact, you say? Believe it or not, I have two glorious children, one graduating college, one's going to be 21 this weekend.
That's going to be fun.
An Aries.
Yes, I'm one. I'm an Aries too. I hope you get along. My daughter and I.
All right, thank you so much. So we're going to let the judges go ahead and write down comments. Students, we are a little bit early, so I'm going to ask us to wait a little bit. The cafeteria where we're going to be meeting afterward has 4 teams presenting, and I would hate for us to walk in and disturb them. And I do want to also take an opportunity to thank our judges. They had terrific feedback, great comments. You can tell that your presentations really hooked them, and they in turn wanted to help you improve. So judges, thank you so much for your time. We do have gifts for you. They're not up here, but we will get them to you once we're downstairs in the cafeteria. And that's it. You can hang tight. You guys are allowed to turn your phones back on if you'd like, and I will let you know when we're allowed to leave.